Hello, my name is Andre Acevedo. Today I am going to compare 4 ligatures. For the past many years, I have used the Vandoren Optimum ligature. I think I used these on and off for like 15 years, and the last 5 years I've been using it pretty exclusively. It is particularly great because it has multiple pressure plate options, so you can hold your reed down in various ways. The next ligature I'm going to compare is the Ishimori Woodstone. These are very popular, and I will see how it does. The next ligature I'm going to test out is the standard Rovner Dark ligature. It is on my mouthpiece at the moment. These are really great ligatures for beginners because it is very easy to put the ligature on, and it is very good for people doing marching band or any place that you need to have a secure fit so you can change your tuning whenever you need to and not worry about the reed coming off. Finally, I'm going to compare this Francois pure brass ligature. Every so often I go to Denton for various things, and I like to stop at TB Winds in Denton. That is a great saxophone shop owned by Tony Barrett, and while there I bought this wonderful ligature, and this is what's getting me to want to do this test. I want to see if I like this over my trusty Vandoren ligature. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. For this ligature comparison today, I'm going to have an educational element to it, of course. I'm going to do a little bit of sort of improvisation over the TMEA all region Jazz C minor blues. When a student is beginning to learn their jazz language, the best place to collect their language and put it into your playing is through transcription. But when you are very beginning, I'm a strong proponent for taking the language from books that are providing the language for you. For example, this fantastic book by Steve Neff, Devastating Minor Lines for Jazz and Funk Soloing. I am going to use some of the examples in this book to highlight how you can put it into your improvisation and incorporate it into your playing. I have other books by Steve Neff, such as Devastating Dominant Lines for Jazz and Funk Soloing. And finally, another book that I found very useful was Mastering the Dominant Bebop Scale, Book 2. In this book, there is a lot more ways to show how you can apply the dominant bebop scale. Steve goes through a lot of iterations of the scale, and I think this is a fantastic book for music analysis if someone wants to start putting the bebop scale into their playing, which is very useful when you're doing a lot of up-tempo work. But today, we're going to be focusing on minor lines. Additionally, on the TMEA all-region jazz music, the C minor blues, even though there are large sections where you have the dominant 7, I am not going to use the dominant 7 lines. Instead, since I'm in a minor key, my favorite device to use is the diminished scale. I am going to use some diminished scale exercises, such as the ones I'm going to put on the screen now. The first ligature that I'm going to test is the standard Rovner Dark ligature. So let me give some final thoughts about these 4 ligatures. First, like I mentioned, this ligature is fantastic because it can tighten really well, and it's very easy to move the mouthpiece around if you need to move it around the cork, and the cork is tight. This is particularly good. The reason I'm not a giant fan of these is that while they have a lot of really positive attributes, this sort of darkens the sound and deadens the tone in a way that I'm not a fan of. It could be really, really good for some people, but myself, I tend to prefer metal ligatures. And next we have the Ishimori Woodstone. This one's metal, but at the same time, I like the sound, but I don't feel like I have as quick of a response that I feel on my end playing this ligature. I think some of that might be heard in the recording. This Francois Louis ligature is awesome. I'm a big fan of it, and I'm going to try this for quite a while. I think I'm going to use this on my next video I'm doing today. One kind of intangible thing to point out about this is that there is a funny cap that comes along with it. I grabbed the Dario Reserve mouthpiece so I can show this. So here's the ligature, and the cap just goes in the front. It doesn't fit super well on any of my mouthpieces. I've been shaving this little white thing down a little bit to see if it'll help it stay better. But in general, it doesn't stay that well. But otherwise, it's pretty cool. So another comment regarding the cap for this. I like to use these berry caps, so you can use various types of ligatures that fit it, as well as this Dario cap, which says Rico. I probably have had this for a long time. These tend to fit over almost any ligature, but they don't fit over this. And finally, my trusty Vandoren ligature, Vandoren Optimum. Again, these are fantastic. It has a really good secure tightening mechanism, so it's quite reliable. If you notice, this goes down, so these sides are not touching the reed. You tighten it, there it goes, it dropped. So as you tighten it, it gives you more pressure downward on the reed, so it can get a really, really nice seal on the reed itself, which is quite fantastic. I find this ligature to be sturdy and very reliable. This is honestly the next closest thing to it. I'm going to do a sample of the C minor blues improvisation for TMEA Jazz region. I'm going to use Diminished language and language from the Steve Neff book. So that is my video on ligatures. Please like and subscribe like everyone says, and leave a comment about your favorite ligatures. There will be many more videos to come. I'm just starting to use the backing track play along with me playing. Hopefully now that I have figured this out, I can put this into a lot more videos and talk more about improvisation techniques. Thank you and have a great day.